The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome folks from the EPCON communities in Central Ohio. We are pleased to be with you today to share some exciting information about some exclusive opportunities that we have created for you to enjoy when you're taking a Viking cruise. Now, today we're going to be sharing with you our next set in our series of cruising with Viking river cruises. But stick around because this is not the regular river cruise in Europe and so forth. We've got some exciting news, but first I'd like to just introduce myself. My name is Patti Cash. I'm the owner at Magic Cruises and Tours. We are a family-owned and operated business for the past 33 years. And with us today, we'll also have Dianne Pierson. She's our Director of Sales with Viking Cruises. So we'll be hearing from Dianne as well. I'd like to just reiterate again to give you a little bit of an idea of who you're dealing with. Here's our office in downtown Worthington, Ohio. We're kind of a fixture here. We started this business, my mom and I, in 1988. And while the scenery around us has changed, we're still here. We've seen different vendors come and go, and right now we're happy to say we're situated right by Grater's Ice Cream, Peace, Love, and Little Donuts, Jet's Pizza, and a whole variety of other wonderful little vendors in this downtown community of Worthington. It merits mentioning our terrific staff, and I have to say I'm very proud of our staff here at Magic. We have a great team of very highly experienced, well-traveled, well-educated travel counselors who are here to help you every step of the way and make it seamless planning process for you. And by the way, we don't charge any fee for this service. So we add value to your vacation at no additional cost to you. We want you to think of us as your vacation people. So whether you want to do a Viking cruise, which is what we hope you'll enjoy, we can also help you with Alaska or with a national park tour and things like that. When you're ready to travel, we're here to help you with that. Now, we have been working behind the scenes with the folks from EPCON in the Central Ohio area to come up with this program that we think you'll enjoy. You seem like you would be perfect fit for some of the Viking Cruises experiences, and so we've partnered with them, and you can find some more details on their website about what this means to you. And basically, in a quick little couple sentences, I could tell you it means extra savings. So we're going to be working to get you the very best offer on any of the Viking Cruise opportunities, and then we're going to top it off with an extra $400 in value. That's $200 additional savings and $200 credit that you can spend on board. And we'll explain all those details to you when you give us a call. But for today's presentation, I'm going to turn this over to Dianne Pierson, and we're going to be talking about river cruising in the USA. How about that? That's some exciting news. We're getting closer to home. And with that, I will let Dianne take it away and share some of the exciting news.
Thank you, Patti. So, hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us again on our Viking Cruises, Magic Cruises and Tours EPCON Community webinar series. And so far we have done a webinar just introducing you to Viking Cruises, who we are and what we do and where we go in the world. We've done a webinar on Viking River Cruises and one on Viking Ocean Cruises. And as Patti said, today we're going to talk about a river that's a little bit closer to home, and that is the mighty Mississippi. Yes, in 2022, Viking Cruises will be sailing on the Mississippi, and we're very, very excited about this program. It's been 9 years in the making, and so we're very happy to introduce this to you today. So the Mississippi River runs for over 2,000 miles, all the way from northern Minnesota to the Gulf of Mexico, down by New Orleans. And we will be traveling on the Mississippi, this area of the Mississippi that follows a very historic National Scenic Byway called the Great River Road. And we will be taking guests on cruises that last 8 days, 7 nights, or 15 days, 14 nights. And these cruises, just like on the rivers and on the oceans, if you've listened to our other webinars in this series, Viking is all about introducing you to the history and the culture and the art and the food and the wine of the destination. And so we will be visiting some wonderful monuments, museums, historic homes, and more along the Mississippi. And we will be sailing to 15 of America's most iconic small towns and large cities. Again, if you've been listening to this webinar series, or if you have sailed with us on Viking on the rivers or the oceans, you know that we're very consistent. Our philosophy is always about introducing you and immersing you in the destination, providing culturally enriching experiences that are very carefully curated to provide privileged access, immersion into the local life, as well as into the working world of where we're traveling. So just like on the rivers and the oceans of the world, our promise and our philosophy is the same, that we're not trying to be everything to everyone on the Mississippi. In fact, we will not have anyone under 18, again, on any of our ships anywhere in the world. We are an adults-only cruise line. We're going to be very destination focused and destination forward on the Mississippi, really immersing you into some of the wonderful places that you're going to hear about in just a few moments. Of course, we're very highly inclusive, just like on the rivers and the oceans. And we're an efficient operator. And I like to drill that down to sort of the smallest parts of things. And that is that we buy a lot of shrimp at Viking. And we get them at a very good price. And we pass along that savings to our customers. And we always make sure that we hire the best staff and crew in the industry. So on the Mississippi, we are going to continue offering you an experience that we call the Thinking Person's Cruise. But we're going to be modernizing the Mississippi experience, and we're going to be sailing in typical Viking Scandinavian style. We're building a brand new vessel that you'll see in a moment that offers you some of the great features that we've already introduced to you on the webinars on Viking rivers as well as Viking oceans. We'll offer destination-focused dining and, of course, award-winning service. So, again, as I've alluded, we have a clear philosophy and a thread that runs through everything that we do. And so all of our excursions, whether they are an included excursion or an optional excursion, are intended to really immerse you in the places where we're traveling along the Mississippi. And so you'll have tours that will be in one of these categories: local life, working world, and privileged access. Now, when I first started reading about this program, I thought a visit to the John Deere Pavilion is not that exciting to me because my husband drives a John Deere to cut the grass, for heaven's sake. When I started reading about it a little bit more, I realized John Deere revolutionized farming in America. So that's a very important story. We'll give you a chance, if you want, to visit Restaurant 1818, which offers a true antebellum dining experience, as well as the opportunity to savor possibly one of the historic craft cocktails known as the Sazerac and the Mint Julep. You'll have a chance to visit an Iowa dairy farm, visit local artisans and craftspeople, and maybe come home with a very special trinket or treasure. You'll have a chance to visit one of America's oldest breweries. And then with our privileged access program, again, I always believe this is where Viking shines. You'll have a chance to visit the Vesterheim Norwegian American Museum and learn about the Norwegian immigrant experience. This is a pretty important thing for us at Viking because, as I have mentioned in my other webinars, our chairman, Torsten Hagen, was born and raised in Bergen, Norway. And then at the Rural Life Museum, you'll have a chance to learn and experience Cajun culture through the music and the folktales and the food of that region. So our Viking inclusive value, just like on the rivers and the oceans, you pay one price up front, and it virtually includes everything you need, plus the ability to customize. So you'll have included one excursion in every port of call, plus optional excursions if you're interested. All of your meals on board, and there are a couple of different dining venues we'll talk about in a moment. Beer, wine, and soft drinks with lunch and dinner are included, unlimited. Coffees and teas and hot chocolates, complimentary Wi-Fi, as well as all port charges and government taxes are included. And where are we going? In our inaugural season, we'll be offering 4 itineraries along the Mississippi. The Heart of the Delta is a one-way cruise, 8 days, 7 nights between New Orleans and Memphis, with 5 guided tours included. Southern Celebration is a round-trip cruise from and to New Orleans, 6 ports of call and 6 guided tours included in 8 days, 7 nights. And I think this is probably my favorite because you have an overnight on board the ship in New Orleans, so extra time to play around in that great city. America's Heartland will travel in 8 days between St. Louis and St. Paul. And then America's Great River is our 15-day, 14-night itinerary that will take you all the way that 2,000-mile length from St. Paul to New Orleans with 11 ports and 11 guided tours included. So I'm a map girl, and it always helps me to kind of get a perspective on where these things are going. So from St. Paul to St. Louis, you see that is the America's Heartland itinerary. And then Memphis to New Orleans, that's our 8-day, 7-night Heart of the Delta. Southern Celebration is round trip New Orleans. And then, of course, the Great River all the way from St. Paul to New Orleans. A little bit of a closer look at the Heart of the Delta. And I just want to point out a couple of very significant stops along the way. In St. Francisville, Louisiana, and Natchez, Mississippi, you'll have the chance to go with our included tours to see some of the great antebellum mansions there. You'll also have an included tour to the Vicksburg Military Battlefield Park there from the Civil War. And then with America's Heartland, this is a very interesting itinerary that has some great stops we're going to talk about a little more in depth in a moment. But I think one of the highlights, of course, for me would be Hannibal, Missouri, where Mark Twain was a young man. And our Southern Celebration is round trip, New Orleans. And we do have stops again in St. Francisville and Natchez and Vicksburg. But let's look at the Great River in a little more detail and talk a little bit more in depth about what there is to see and do in places like Dubuque, Iowa, and La Crosse, Wisconsin. So there's the map. If you were going to do the 15-day, you would be traveling all the way from St. Paul down to New Orleans, and you'd be stopping in all of these places where the docks are along the way. So let's pretend we flew into St. Paul, Minnesota, and boarded the vessel. We're having a lovely dinner and some wine. Tomorrow morning when we get up, we're in Red Wing, Minnesota. Red Wing Shoe Factory is there, so you might want to get a new pair of shoes. We will include a visit to the National Eagle Center as well as a panoramic tour. You'll have a chance, if you like, to do optional tours for wine tastings and breweries, as well as outdoor activities such as hiking and biking and kayaking. La Crosse, Wisconsin is where our privileged access program is located. Our visit to the Vesterheim Norwegian American Museum to learn about the Norwegian immigrant experience there. And in Dubuque, Iowa, we'll visit the National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium. And also we're offering an optional tour to Frank Lloyd Wright's architectural masterpiece, Taliesin, which was completed in 1911 and is now on the National Register of Historic Places. In Quad Cities, Iowa, we'll learn how John Deere revolutionized farming in America. And Burlington, Iowa, just a typical American small town with numerous historic buildings and known for its fantastic architecture, as well as Snake Alley, which is considered the crookedest street in the world, and also Old Fort Madison, which dates back to the War of 1812. Of course, we'll have that stop in Hannibal, Missouri. We'll get to walk in the footsteps of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn and visit the place where Mark Twain grew up. In St. Louis, we'll have a visit to the Gateway Arch there, and we're also offering optional tours to the Anheuser-Busch Brewery, as well as the National Blues Museum. You will spend time cruising for a day on the lower Mississippi and enjoying the wonderful ship, the Viking Mississippi. And then you'll have a day in Memphis where our included tour will take you to Graceland. We also have an optional tour to the National Civil Rights Museum. Another day of scenic cruising and just enjoying our beautiful vessel while sort of languishing along the Mississippi River. And then a stop in Vicksburg to visit the National Civil War Battlefield Park there. Followed by a very important day in Natchez, Mississippi. This is just small town America. Natchez is the oldest city on the Mississippi, provides stunning views of the Mississippi, and it is from our stop in Natchez where we'll have the chance to go and visit some of the antebellum homes there. In Baton Rouge, that's where we visit the Rural Life Museum that I've already mentioned. And then we wind up in New Orleans. And you can get on a plane and go home that day, but why would you? You want to spend probably another day or two, and my great partners at Magic Cruises can help you take care of spending a little bit extra time enjoying the sights and sounds of New Orleans. Our vessel on the Mississippi will be called the Viking Mississippi. If you've seen our ships before, this is a beautiful blend of some of the things that we've offered on the Viking River ships as well as the Viking Ocean ships. This vessel will will have 193 staterooms and carry 386 passengers, all in double staterooms, no triples and quads. And remember, nobody under 18. The same look and feel that we have on our other vessels on the rivers and the oceans, with that beautiful Scandinavian design and style, simple, understated, elegant, clean lines, beautiful materials, terrazzo tile floors, tongue and groove wood, Carrara marble, hand knitted wool rugs. But we're not forgetting where we are in the world, because that wall in the main staircase is all verse from Tom Sawyer. A beautiful restaurant, just like on our river and ocean vessels, where we will serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner, table service every single day. It is country club casual, sit wherever you like. There are no reservations required or needed. We have a beautiful living room, which is a feature that we launched on our Viking Ocean vessels. Instead of a huge, massive atrium like some of our big competitor ocean vessels have, this is a comfortable environment where we want you to feel like you're home. You're going to come back from your day of exploring along the Mississippi, and you're just going to have a chance to sort of sit down and relax and feel comfortable. The River Cafe is our buffet. It also will offer a raw bar, which is very highly interesting to me. And then we will also have the Aqua Beach Terrace, which is our alfresco dining venue. Remember, all of the dining is included. And out here, we'll be offering barbecue, and the barbecue will change every day depending upon where we are, such as Memphis. It'll be Memphis barbecue and so on. But this is a beautiful al fresco dining venue. Imagine sitting out there, enjoying a glass of wine or a local beer, having some great barbecue, talking to new friends or old friends, listening to some great music, sail along the Mississippi, watching the stars come out at night. I just think that sounds fabulous. Our Explorers Lounge is all the way forward, so a great spot, again, to sit and relax and enjoy the view. You can even enjoy the view at night, watching the stars from inside. And then we're offering a very new feature on the Mississippi River. On the Sun Terrace, we will have an infinity plunge pool. And is instead of a paddle wheeler. So if you remember, I said we're bringing a more modern Scandinavian style to the Mississippi, and this is it right here. No paddle wheeler for Viking. We are going to give you a great spot to jump in and cool off if you need to. Just beautiful outdoor areas, and when you're ready to go to bed at night, you'll be plopping yourself into bed in one of our fabulous staterooms that are modeled after our award-winning Viking Ocean staterooms. Every single stateroom will have either a French balcony or a veranda. There are no interior staterooms. And I'm going to direct you back to my friends at Magic Cruises, the ultimate professionals in the industry that are going to sit down with you and help you decide which one of these glorious accommodations is the right one for you. Our penthouse veranda really is one of our most popular stateroom categories on Viking Oceans, and I believe will be also on the Viking Mississippi. Of course, we do have some luxurious staterooms, such as our penthouse junior suite that's over 400 square feet. And remember, this is just for 2 people. And our terrace suites, 425 square feet. And then the ultimate luxury on the Mississippi River will be our Explorer suites, which are from 657 to over 1,000 square feet. So this slide might be a little bit confusing for you, and this is why I direct you again back to your wonderful travel advisors at Magic Cruises. They've done all the training on the Viking Mississippi vessel, and they know and understand the differences and the features that are included in each one of these stateroom categories. And so, of course, you're going to call them and let them help you decide which is the right one for you. So that is the Viking Mississippi in a little bit of a nutshell, but stay tuned because we have now done webinars on Viking rivers, Viking oceans, Viking Mississippi, and next up will be our fabulous new destinations in the expeditionary market to the North Pole and the South Pole, as well as the Great Lakes. So I'm going to say thank you for my part and let Patti fill you in on a few other exciting bits of information that you would probably like to know.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Dianne.
My pleasure.
I tell you what, it's hard for me to stay quiet while Diane's talking because I'm so excited. I want to share so many more details with you all. But we're tremendously happy that we finally opened up reservations for the Viking Mississippi, I believe just earlier this month in June, for the public, and they are already filling up. We have got a number of our own clients booked for 2022 and beyond. So, you know, this is one vessel doing all those sailings, less than 400 people on board. And if you're interested in making plans, please feel free to do so just by simply calling us. One call does it all. We're here to help you. It's risk-free guarantee booking right now. That, in a nutshell, means much more flexibility for you, for your plans, if you need to make changes, etc. Up much closer to the sailing date. So take advantage of our skills and our knowledge and our exclusive bonuses that we're here to offer you. And when you call, please just let us know you're an EPCON community homeowner in the Columbus, Ohio area, and we'll make sure that we get you the very, very best price. I do have to say, having done this job for the past 33 years, I've been on some of the river cruises in the United States, of course, and abroad, and we're such a refreshing change to have a modern, spacious vessel like the Viking Mississippi to look at as an option with all the open spaces and outdoor dining and you know, small amount of guests on board. And I think this is going to be a really popular choice. So take a look at more details and give us a call. We'll help you with all the rest of the reservation process. And all you have to do is just give us a call at 614-847-5551. Let us know you're calling from an EPCON community, and we will get you started on the road to a great vacation to look forward to. Thank you so much for being with us.
I just want to jump in and say one thing about the Mississippi, just to kind of piggyback on what Patti was saying about availability. Even though we are not starting to sail on the Mississippi until 2022, we have actually been selling the Mississippi for several weeks now. And believe it or not, in 2022, that 15-day sailing is sold out. So
wow.
Looking for 2023 on the 15-day. The 3 different 7-night, 8-day cruises are still available for 2022. But as I said, we have been planning this project for 9 years at Viking. there's been massive pent-up demand from our past passengers as well as new travelers who are looking to stay a little bit closer to home. And so we are seeing an incredible amount of interest. So call your friends at Magic Cruises, my great partners. I just have so much respect for them, and they will help you with whatever your travel plans are or need to be. Thanks, Patti.
Okay, thank you, Diane, and thank you everyone for joining us. Bon voyage for now.